Hello and welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Kim.
And I'm Brandon.
Have you ever been in a haunted house, Brandon?
I love haunted houses. I like being scared. I like that feeling. And every Halloween, before Halloween, they usually open them up a little early. So in October, I'll go and I'll find the haunted house, the best and biggest one in the city. And I go there and line up for 3 hours or whatever. You finally get in. And it's lovely. I like seeing all the scary things that they have. And I think one of my favorite things is I was in a haunted house once and they had the walls. They made it so the walls became like closer and closer together until they were actually all together. But the walls were actually just made of like kind of trash bag plastic, but just pushed with a lot of air. Ooh. So you had to like squeeze through it. It was like you can't see anything in front of you, you can't see anything behind you, and then you hear somebody coming. It was like, ah! It was very frightening.
I'm scared just hearing that story. Yeah,
wonderful.
Thank you.
What about you?
Well, I used to actually work in a haunted house when I was in high school. So for some time during October, me and my friends would go to this place and we would dress up as ghosts or witches, or I was a very scary tree. And we would scare people. You jump out of the dark and sort of try to touch people with your scary tree branches. And it was really fun. We had a great time. We got paid in pizza.
That sounds like a great payment for a young person.
It's worth it.
But did anybody ever get really, really scared?
Yeah, especially little kids. They get really scared.
Oh, that must have been lovely.
Yeah. Well, let's check out the ghost story part 2. This is the second part, and we will find out what happens to this guy who has a ghost in his apartment. Let's get into it.
What's going
on? As the night went on, the man heard many awful sounds. Loud screams, dragging chains, and banging doors. Ghostly lights began to dance around the ceiling. Suddenly, everything went dark and quiet. The man lit the lamp again and saw who had been making all the noise. The figure towered over him, but the man felt at ease when he realized who it was. The apartment building was across the street from a museum. Inside the museum was an exhibition of the Cardiff Giant, a 10-foot-tall, supposedly fossilized man. The man recognized the giant's friendly face and addressed the ghost like an old friend. The giant's ghost relaxed as well.
Oh, I'm very excited to learn the rest of this story. I just can't wait. So, let's get started. As the night went on, the man heard many awful sounds. Loud screams, dragging chains, and banging doors. Wow.
Okay, it's getting more scary now.
What kind of an apartment did he rent?
One with really thin walls.
It's really thin walls, or is this in his apartment?
That is the question.
I don't know. So he heard a scream, and now a scream is a noun, and it's kind of like shouting, but it's kind of a scared kind of shout. When you're very scared, you might scream because you're so scared. I like to do that to my wife. I like to hide around a corner and then I'll jump out and she'll give a little scream, and it gives me so much joy to have her scream. But let's listen to this example sentence. The woman's scream could be heard 2 blocks away.
Can they hear your wife 2 blocks away?
They might.
They might.
That's my goal.
All right. Well, it continues. Ghostly lights began to dance around the ceiling. Suddenly, everything went dark and quiet. The man lit the lamp again and saw who had been making all the noise. Oh my gosh, there's actually someone there. The figure towered over him, but the man felt at ease when he realized who it was. You were right, it's his landlord.
It must be the landlord, but it towered over him. Now, hang on. Okay. His landlord wouldn't be making all those weird sounds, would he?
We don't know.
Or tugging on the blanket, although that's funny. I don't know. I'm really still holding on to the hope that there's a scary part to this story.
Well, the thing that makes me scared is it towers over him. If something towers over you, that means it's much taller, much taller than you are, which is kind of scary.
Yeah. I don't know what it could possibly be. But you know, all of those things that were happening in his house that it described it reminds me, I went to the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland. That's one of my favorite things to do in Disneyland is go to the Haunted Mansion. It's a big haunted house. And you get on a ride and you do this ride through this haunted mansion place and you can see a lot of these kind of things. Dragging chains, you can hear the dragging chains, you can see the ghost and you see all the lights and things like that. And I think it's really fun. So, okay, it just made me think about Disneyland. So I was like,
fun,
oh,
yeah.
This is great. Well, let's keep going. The apartment building was across the street from a museum. Inside the museum was an exhibition of the Cardiff Giant, a 10-foot-tall, supposedly fossilized man.
So the guy recognizes this ghost. Is it the ghost of the giant?
Or is it the real giant who's like unfossilized?
He just unfossilized himself.
I don't know how.
Now he's back in this guy's apartment. Well, he's part of an exhibition. An exhibition is a display in a museum or an exhibition center where it's all things that are the same. Like a car exhibition is going to be all the same kind of cars, sports cars or something like that. Maybe you can have a food exhibition where people bring their food from their restaurant and they show it off. What other kinds of exhibitions have you been to?
Oh, I've been to many, and my favorite ones are like gaming exhibitions or like video game exhibitions, or also, for example, like cartoon exhibitions. There's ones for cartoon shows from Japan.
Cool.
And some people like to dress up at the gaming ones and the cartoon ones. It's a lot of fun.
And at the gaming ones, you can also try out new games that might not be out yet too, right?
Can.
It's awesome. So for example, I liked many paintings at the exhibition, so it's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Okay, so we've got a giant man, fossilized man.
Or unfossilized, we're not sure.
At his house, and he felt at ease though, so he was like,
I know this guy.
A giant is in my house, no problem. I'm at ease. I'm confused about the at ease part.
That's strange.
Let's find out why. So the man recognized the giant's friendly face and addressed the ghost like an old friend. The giant's ghost relaxed as well.
So the ghost is just like chilling in your house?
So he made all this ruckus and sound,
Yeah.
and then he said, "Hey, old friend."
How you doing?
And then the giant was like, "Oh, yeah, friend."
Do they know each other? This is weird.
Does he work at the museum?
Well, we're going to find out after the break exactly if they're college roommates, high school friends. Let's find out after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。故事里面的男子应该是遇到鬼了。这个夜晚啊，非常不平静。他听到很多可怕的声音，有尖叫声、拖行的链条声，还有门砰砰砰的声音。这让 Brandon 老师想到迪士尼乐园的游乐设施 Haunted Mansion， 那就是幽灵公馆。那我们补充一下，其中这个 Mansion M-A-N-S-I-O-N， 它可以指豪宅或是大宅邸的意思哦。再看单字 Scream， 在这边当名词表示尖叫、惊呼。好，那故事接着写到，突然间一切变得黑暗寂静，男子就把灯点亮，看看是谁一直在制造这些噪音跟骚动。那个人影啊，比他高了很多。不过当他意识到那是谁的时候，就安心了。原来这栋公寓大楼对面有一间博物馆，然后馆内有一个卡蒂夫巨人的展览。据说啊，那是个石化的人。男子就认出巨人他友善的面孔，就把他当作老朋友一样跟他讲话了。然后那个巨人鬼魂也松了一口气。我们来看单字 exhibition， 这个字它是名词，表示展览会、展览或是展出的意思。那补充单字 fossilized， 就是形容变成化石的或是石化的。Brandon 老师刚刚用到 ruckus 这个字 ，R-U-C-K-U-S，ruckus 它可以指喧闹、骚动或者是高声争吵的意思。那这个段落3个重点，我们进入文法时间。 好，来看第一个重点是 tower over 或是 tower above。加上 somebody or something 表示比什么高出许多，矗立在什么之上。那么 tower 在这边当动词，表示高耸、耸立的意思。举例来说 ，The skyscraper towers over the other buildings in the area。这栋摩天大楼啊，比这个地区的其他大楼都还要高。那么第二个重点是片语 at ease， 它是指感到安心自在、不受拘束的意思。例如 ，She appeared at ease in front of the cameras。她在镜头前看起来很自在。那么第三个重点是地方副词摆在句首的倒装句型。我们看到这个地方副词或地方副词片语啊，它通常会摆在句尾。那如果要强调地点，或者是这个主词带有比较长的修饰语，我们可以把地方副词或地方副词片语移到句首，之后再记得把主词跟动词进行倒装哦。好，那么以句型来看，原本直述句的句型是主词加上 be 动词或动词，再加地方副词或地方副词片语。倒装之后，发现句型就会变成地方副词或地方副词片语加 be 动词或一般动词，再加主词，听起来很复杂，对不对？我们用例句来看 ：In a cottage deep in the woods live 7 dwarfs。森林深处的一间小屋里面住着7个小矮人。有没有发现7个小矮人这个主词摆到最后面了呢？然后地方副词片语摆到前面。另外提醒同学们，当主词是代名词的时候，就不需要倒装哦。像 Here comes the bus， 公车来了。这时候你把例句里面 the bus 改成代名词 it， 句子是写作 Here it comes。有没有发现动词 comes 它还是保持在主词 it 的后面，没有倒装哦。接着回到课文中。
He sat down in a chair, but it broke from the great weight. After destroying another chair and the man's bed, the giant sat on the floor by the fire. The Cardiff giant said that he was haunting the area around the museum in hopes that someone would bury his body. The man laughed. "Don't you recognize your own body?" he said. "The one across the street is a fake." The giant's ghost was deeply embarrassed and left the room without a word.
All right, I'm dying to know how this guy and the Cardiff giant man know each other, so let's get into it. It says, he sat down in a chair, but it broke from the great weight. After destroying another chair and the man's bed, the giant sat on the floor by the fire. So he comes in this guy's house and he's just breaking all his furniture. How rude.
Hang on. So let's look at the facts.
Okay.
So
the facts.
Facts. He tried to steal the blanket.
Uh-huh.
And then he went and he put his foot in the ashes near the fire. Then he made all sorts of dragging chain sounds, and there was like lights and things like that.
Screaming.
So I'm thinking the giant wants to do something in the house. Maybe home repair.
Is that why he broke 3 of his pieces of furniture?
Well, he was just trying to sit down.
Oh, okay.
It's not his fault.
Well, he ended up destroying this guy's stuff. So to destroy is a verb that means to completely break something. If something is destroyed, there's no putting it back together. It's just a pile of dust and rubble, and you can't fix it at all. So this giant sat down on this guy's seat, and it's just... It's totally destroyed. He can't get the chair back. Okay, the example says the building was destroyed by the earthquake. Yes, earthquakes tend to do that.
That's very sad.
Yeah,
It's always in the
destroy
news. Well, let's see what happens. I can't wait to hear this. So, the Cardiff giant said that he was haunting the area around the museum in hopes that someone would bury his body. The man laughed.
Rude.
Oh, he laughed.
You're dead.
Why would you laugh at something like that? What a rude man. And to a giant.
Right? I mean, are you sure you should be laughing at this guy?
Yeah.
He's bigger than you.
Yeah, he might get angry. Oh, giant smash.
I mean, he already broke the chairs. He could break your head next.
Yeah, really easily.
Okay, well, the giant is looking for someone to bury him. If you bury something, you move the dirt on top of the earth and you put something inside. In this case, we mean to bury a person. So after someone dies, they're put inside a coffin, and we dig a hole in the ground, put them inside, and then cover it. For example, we buried Steve next to his wife.
Now, that's not the only thing you can bury. There's also dogs like to dig a hole and they bury a bone or some prized object. And I remember when I was in high school, we buried one of those time boxes.
No, time capsule.
A time capsule,
called,
that's
yes.
the word. Well, we buried a time capsule with all of our things from our graduation year, which was a long time ago.
Cool, and then you can dig it up like 25 or 50 years later and you can see what everyone left in there.
Exactly.
Those things are cool.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. Well, let's continue the story. Don't you recognize your own body? He said. The one across the street is a fake. The giant's ghost was deeply embarrassed and left the room without a word. Is that the end of the story?
That's the end because the ghost got embarrassed and he just thought, sorry, wrong place. And he was going to leave now.
Well, that's a really good replica at the museum then. It looks
must
just
be.
like him.
It convinced the ghost that that's me. No, it's not.
But it's not. It's actually a fake.
Yes.
Now, fake, in this sense, it says it was a fake. And that's a noun. And you might know the adjective fake. It's not the true one. And so this is just the noun form of that. It's not the true form. It's
not real.
It's not real.
Yep.
It's fake. So maybe, like in Halloween, you can go and buy one of those fake knives and you can put it on your head. It looks like there's a knife through your head, but it's just fake. It's
right.
just something you put on your head. The example sentence is, experts are certain that the photograph is a fake. Now, I saw some fake shoes at the mall earlier, and they were very funny because it had bad English, and so that's how I know it's not really New Balance or whatever brand it's supposed to be. I could tell it's fake because it has spelling errors on the English, and I was like, oh, these are wonderfully funny, bad English fake shoes.
All right, well, on to our what do you think question. Brandon, what do you think? How is this story different from other ghost stories that you have read?
Well, it's different in the sense that it's not very scary.
I have to agree with that. It's not the scariest thing I've ever read. It was like, it started out slow, and then it was getting kind of scary, and then it just wasn't.
Well, and I think the thing about scary stories like this is who is the audience?
True.
And so some scary stories are for little kids. This sounds like one of those that's for little kids because little kids, they have very weak and fragile emotions, and so they might get too scared if it's a really scary story.
Yeah, you want them to be able to go to bed after you tell the story, not like up all night, scared in their bed.
But I'm an adult and I want a really scary story.
And that wasn't scary.
Not really.
Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the story, even though you might not have been scared. So we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
好，这个巨人鬼魂他想坐下来，可是他太重了，坐坏了椅子，坐坏了床，然后最后他干脆坐在火炉旁边的地板上。巨人就说呢，他在博物馆附近出没，是希望有人会埋葬他的身体。那男子就笑着对他说：“啊，你不认得自己的身体哦，对接那个是假的啦。”然后巨人听了就很尴尬的离开，只能说这个剧情啊超展开。老师们认为这个故事不恐怖，可能比较适合小朋友，毕竟孩子的情绪比较脆弱，容易被吓到。那老师用到 fragile。Fragile， 它也可以念作 fragile， 那它是形容脆弱的、易损坏的。再来看课文单字 destroy， 这个动词表示摧毁、破坏。那老师用到 smash 这个字 ，S-M-A-S-H，smash 当动词也可以表达打碎、打破或是撞击。还有提到 rubble，R-U-B-B-L-E， 这个字呢可以表达瓦砾、碎石的意思。下一个单字 bury，bury 是指埋葬、掩埋。那我们知道，除了会埋棺材，人们也会埋时光胶囊。那我们来补充一下 coffin，C-O-F-F-I-N。Coffin 它表示棺材或是灵柩的意思，那么 time capsule 则是指时光胶囊哦。我们再看下一个单字 fake。Fake 可以当名词来表达假货、仿冒品，也可以当形容词来形容假的、伪造的。这时候老师有用到 replica 这个字 ，R-E-P-L-I-C-A，replica 就是指复制品、仿制品。那这个段落一个重点，我们进入文法时间。 好，来看这个重点 ，in hope 或是 in the hope 或者是 in hopes， 后面可以接 that 子句，你也可以接 of 加上名词或动名词来表达希望怎么样，期盼怎么样。例如 ，Brad and his wife moved to the countryside in hopes that they could lead a quiet life。Brad 和他的妻子搬到乡下去住，希望能过着宁静的生活。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
As the night went on, the man heard many awful sounds. Loud screams, dragging chains, and banging doors. Ghostly lights began to dance around the ceiling. Suddenly, everything went dark and quiet. The man lit the lamp again and saw who had been making all the noise. The figure towered over him, but the man felt at ease when he realized who it was. The apartment building was across the street from a museum. Inside the museum was an exhibition of the Cardiff Giant, a 10-foot-tall, supposedly fossilized man. The man recognized the giant's friendly face and addressed the ghost like an old friend. The giant's ghost relaxed as well. He sat down in a chair, but it broke from the great weight. After destroying another chair and the man's bed, the giant sat on the floor by the fire. The Cardiff Giant said that he was haunting the area around the museum in hopes that someone would bury his body. The man laughed. "Don't you recognize your own body?" he said. "The one across the street is a fake." The giant's ghost was deeply embarrassed and left the room without a word.
Hey guys, my name's Oliver,
And I'm Jamie.
and today we're going to play a game called Guess the Bear. In this game, we have to guess the words missing from the phrase, which are going to be replaced with bear. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess I'll ask you first.
Sure.
All right, okay, so let's go. All right, first one. He left bear saying bear bear. And it's amazing how much you can say bear saying bear bear.
What is it? A phrase? Two-word phrase?
It's a three-word phrase.
Three-word phrase is a. Okay, go ahead.
It's a little tricky. One more time?
Yeah.
He left bear saying bear bear. And it's amazing how much you can say bear saying bear bear.
Never say never.
No. It's a little
next
tricky.
One. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, verb. The missile was programmed to seek and bear. The puppy bared our new furniture.
Destroyed.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. Now, the museum's artifact was found out to be a bear. The $100 bill was a suspected bear.
Fake.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, so it was, I can tell you, right?
Yes.
So it was without saying a word. So he left without saying a word. It's amazing how much you can say without saying a word.
Oh.
That is tricky.
That is tricky.
That's really tricky.
Oh well. All right.
Okay,
It
I'm
was
ready.
worth a shot. All right, ready? Okay. One word, verb. I bear, you bear, we all bear for ice cream. I bared when he jumped out of the closet.
Scream.
Yes, very good. One word, noun. The art bear had many famous paintings. We went to a new car bear at Taipei Arena.
Dealer.
Close.
Dealership. Trader.
No, I think it's the art bear had many famous paintings.
Store. Shop.
Close.
Gallery.
More.
House. Okay, next one.
Okay. One word, verb. He was sad, so he bared himself in his work. The dog bears a bone in the yard.
Berry.
Yes, very good. Okay, so let's go back to the other one. The art bear had many famous paintings. One word, noun. We went to a new car bear at Taipei Arena.
I don't know, showroom or
Close.
store
Close.
or gallery or
Showroom was closer, gallery kind of close. It was exhibition.
Come on.
Yeah, it was very
Of course.
close. The art exhibition had many famous paintings, and we went to a new car exhibition at Taipei Arena.
Okay,
Yeah, it's very close though. So we each got 2 out of 3. We were close.
2 out of 3 is not bad. It's better than 1 out of 3.
It's a pass, right?
Yeah.
Passing grade.
See you next time.